it called? Or for Arcane Season 3, if it gets a Season 3, which I really hope it does. They were like, man, you know, it would really suck to call it Arcane still if it's not even in Piltover and Zon, because what's the point? And, like, it's at that point where I do encourage people to read the source material a little, which is League of Legends, because even though it's a game where you absolutely do not need to know the lore to play it, sure, I'm coming to my cult. Here, and we're gonna... Hold on. How do I do this? I mean, just do this here, right? There we go. And it's all better. I was like, please, like, read the lore of League, because for a game that literally... A game that does not even need fucking lore has so much lore for champs, right? I was like, if you think there's not enough magic around the world of fucking Runeterra, or is that technically what it's called? It's called Runeterra, right? I'm not like the biggest like League nerd on the planet, so like I don't know if it's, but I'm pretty sure it's called Runeterra. They, like, you have so many magic places and so many magic people outside of like the maybe like 10-15 champs that come from Zon and Piltover. Like, there's there's fucking, you have Demacia, you have, well, Demasia's like anti-magic, but there's still mages there, like Lux and Silas. There's Ionia, there is Noxus, there is, I forgot the place that the Ascended are from, which is like Azir and Nasus and stuff. But, like, they have those people. Like, I would love, because they've mentioned that, like, there's a war going on in Noxus and stuff. Because it's mentioned by Mel's mom that there's a war going on in Noxus. And that she'd like to use Hex Tech for it. That I would love to see, like, the, Ionian Noxus War, because that shit is cool. And, like, again, just a whole lot of champs that, like, aren't touched on in Arcane yet, and I think it'd be really cool if they were touched on, because they're just very cool champs. And so, like, I have high hopes for an Arcane Season 3. But people are like, you shouldn't call it Arcane, it should just be a whole nother series. I'm like, no, it'd be a whole nother series if it was, like, a skin line, right? And, like, yeah, they did turn Arcane into a skin line, but in all honesty, I do like the Arcane designs a lot better than I like the in-game designs. But I was like, no, they should not call it something different just because you're gonna be upset that Vi and Jinx and Caitlyn and all of them aren't in it. Like, if anything, I think it's really cool, because what I'm hoping, this is my theory for Arcane Season 2, right? My theory is that we're gonna finally see Victor in his in-game form, and we're gonna see Singed, not necessarily in his in-game form, but, like, with some of his abilities in-game. Because, okay, listen. I was watching Arcane, and I hadn't really gotten into League that much yet, but, you know how it is. I was like, oh, Kevin, look at this Victor guy. He's so cool. And then he was like, yeah, you know that he turns into a guy who, like, wants to turn all the humans in the world into robots? I was like, what? And then he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh. And then, yeah. And so, that was the actual conversation we had. But, yeah, I was just like, man, like, hold on, I want to see what I'm fucking holding. Okay. And yeah, so I really, really want to see, I think we're gonna see Warwick. Hold on, focusing. I think, here, let me just, like, stop here so I can talk. I think that in Arcane Season 2, we are going to see, Victor in his final, like, cool robot form. Because you actually see him, again, like, it's like the little things in Arcane, you know? You see him using the Hex Tech arm thing in order to carve stuff. You see it, when they're showing off Heimerdinger, what they have for Progress Day. And I think we're gonna see him in, like, or at least his, like, prototype of his, like, robot form that he has. I think we are gonna see Blitzcrank, and I really hope we do. Because, okay, listen, Clagger bears way too much similarity to fucking Blitzcrank for him to not become Blitzcrank, or become, like, a nod towards Blitzcrank possibly becoming a thing. I don't know if Milo will ever actually become something other than, like, a figment in Jinx's mind. Everyone knows Vander's turning into Warwick. That's just how it is. He's called the Hound of the Underground. Warwick is a werewolf thingy with Chemtech in him, and he taught Vi how to, like, fight and everything. So, you know, yeah. And then, I think Echo's gonna finally get, his ult. I think he's finally gonna get, like, what his ult actually is. I know we kind of saw it at the end of the bridge on, or on the bridge fight, closer to the end of the season. But I really, really hope that we do get to see, his ult, because that'd be super cool. And we already got to see Jinx's, and I don't know enough about Vi to actually know what the fuck her ult is, so, yeah. But I really like the whole, like, references that you see in Arcane and in League, and I hope that we get to see Twitch, and maybe Janna, it'd be kind of cool if we saw Janna, but I don't think we will. I'm really hoping to see Jin and Camille, because that would be very cool and swaggy. And yeah. But yeah, that's what I really want. And I want to see, like, everything start to flush out as it does. And I'm hoping that we get to see Renata. Because my theory is that since Silco is now dead, there's a big power vacuum in the world of Zaun. And that Renata is the person who takes up that with Shimmer and everything. Because she's the first, like, Shimmer champ in League. And I think that's really cool. And yeah, so that's my thoughts on Arcane Season 2. And I really hope that Season 3 and possibly 4 go into the Noxian Ionian War, because I would really love to see Yasuo and Aurelia and Darius and Katarina and all that. So I think that'd be really cool. And I just hope they touch on other areas, because, like, I would also really, like, one of my big things is I really want to see Bilgewater. Because Bilgewater is, like, such a cool place, and I would love to see, like, the storyline between Miss Fortune and Twisted Fate and Graves and Gangplank and Alawi and all that other stuff. But, yeah. I should probably, like, play the game, because, you know, but, you know, like, I would really just, like, I could talk about Arcane all day. I should do a stream where I, like, analyze Arcane.